Courage to conquer, you know how it is. It's 24 hours a day, that's how I live. Gotta get the courage to conquer. Face your fears, face your fears. My empire, that's the goal. Building that wealth, I'ma get that dough. Hustling hard every day, I'm a ball in my pain. I don't care what you got to say, but you ain't got the courage to conquer. Courage to conquer. Courage to conquer. Courage to conquer.
Hey, what's up, fellow Conquerors? Welcome to the Courage to Conquer podcast. I am Earl Himes. This is my lovely wife, Laura Himes, and this is the Courage to Conquer podcast. I messed that up. I should have said we are the conquering couple. Anyway, so now today we're going to talk about control, about how to control your behavior. Don't let your behavior control you. We've been dealing with some stuff lately, and everybody does. Personal life, business, work, relationships. Sometimes we let behaviors get out of control. We regret some things we've said, things we've done, and so he's kind of just going to talk about that and how to kind of work on those things to have better control of your day and your life to make your day go better as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I actually made a little video earlier and put on Conquering Couple on Facebook because it was something that kind of happened this morning, and I know when things happen, especially, owning a business, even if you don't own a business, you have a million things going on in your life, but just owning a business, there's always something that comes up. And sometimes that thing that comes up, everybody in the whole office feels it. And if one person's mad, I feel like it brings negative energy in the office. I really do.
It flows.
It flows negative energy, and I'm all about positive energy. And I brought it up today because I noticed we've had some things happen just around our business just lately. And last week we had a situation happen with one of our trucks and trailers, and I just said I need a minute, and I had to go to my office and breathe through it so I wouldn't say anything I might later regret.
Definitely. So what's that serenity prayer about this?
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I say it like 20 times a day around here.
Wisdom to know the difference. That's the thing right there, is understanding where you're at, to gather your emotions, to understand the things you can and cannot control, for sure.
Yeah. I think when something happens initially, because with my younger years, I was really bad about just flying off at the handle and just saying whatever's on my mind. And I know you still probably feel like I do, but I've gotten better at, I need to think this through and walk away. Give me a minute, And I'll tell people, I need a minute, and I need a minute.
Well, sometimes
go to my office, shut the door, breathe through it. I used to joke I need a punching bag in there, but it's not so much anymore. But here's the thing, you got to look at it, unless the building's on fire, this is life or death. If it's not life or death, like someone's not going to die over it, I feel like anything other than that, you could probably control it. And not letting it control you. Sometimes I feel like when we're quick to get upset, you're letting that situation control you the entire day. And then if you really step back and look at it, took away from your day. It takes away from you as a person and as a leader. It takes away from you as setting an example for other people because they see how you're handling the frustration. Especially us. People have to, they're holding us to a higher standard. So if we're acting a fool and I'm slamming my door and acting crazy, then when they go to do it, they think it's acceptable behavior.
Right.
And I don't want that. Like, we're building a culture in our office and stuff, and I want our people, it's kind of like playing cards. You never want anyone to see your hand. So it's kind of like that. So, hey, you might have something really bad going on, and not a soul in the office maybe even knows that you have anything going on. Because you got to be able to handle the pressure and the stress, especially when you're a business owner and you're running a business. So I've been trying to work that in and think about, okay, hey, if this is something, first off, walk away from it, go breathe, take a minute, and then regroup and think about, okay, is this really that bad? Okay, is it fixable? Everything's figure outable. I have that sign in my office. Everything's figure outable. What can I do to fix it?
Great book, by the way. Great book.
It's a great book. And to me personally, and then I'll ask you how you're handling your stuff, honey. Me personally, when it's happening, I look at the whole picture. I have to go, okay, is this silly? Is this something that is, is it going to, I'm not going to let it run my entire day. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to walk away for a minute because I'm frustrated. And then I'm going to say, okay, well, how do we fix it? And then I'm going to go execute a plan, take action. This is what we're going to do to fix it. And then I walk away and I move on and I'm not even thinking about it anymore. Because I'll have guys the next day come in, hey, I just wanted to apologize. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, what I did. And I'm like, oh, I'm already past that. I've already dealt with it. We talked about it and I moved on. I haven't gave it a thought since. And it's easier for me when I have that mindset going into it is, okay, I'm a problem fixer. You know, I like to fix problems. You ask Earl. Every time he comes to me and vents, I think he wants me to fix it. And I want to tell him all the things how he can fix it, and he doesn't want me to vent. He just wants to, he wants to vent to me, but he doesn't always want me to fix it for him. And so, silently, I'll go in my office and try to figure out a way to fix the situation before it escalates into something way worse. Like in the office, I've had people come to my office today. Someone came to my office and they needed a moment and they needed to vent about some stuff in the office, and so I stopped and listened to him and.
Well, yeah, but it's also like you've mentioned about where you're at. So be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Who's around? What's going on? Paying attention to those things, and you can control your attitude. You can control your behavior. You can control, how you respond to things. But you cannot control the things with outside that. If anybody says anything to you derogatory or somebody cuts you off driving. You can't control that, but you control how you handle those situations.
Yeah.
I myself kind of use my past to learn from, and that's why I say all the time that's why the rearview mirror is so small and the windshield so large, because I'm looking to the future. It's okay to dabble in the back a little bit.
Yep.
To look in your past. So I look at it as I learned how I've handled situations in the past.
Yeah.
And where I did make a good move, didn't say the right thing, flew off the handle, cut somebody out, fire them on the spot, and afterwards going, holy shit, what did I just do? Because now
you're working harder.
I'm working harder. Got to retrain somebody. I got to do this. Got to do that. When actually, like you said, all it takes is just a few minutes, breathe, think it through,
Regroup.
and all that. So like nowadays, I don't really fly off the handle hardly ever at work.
I feel like you have more patience than I do.
I do now because I've worked on that because Tim Grover and Tim Story. Tim Story's one definitely who's like, Oprah East, life coach.
Oprah.
Robert Downey, his life coach as well. He's the same thing. You will never know that say his mother just died or something. He won whatever. You would never know a thing because his behavior's always the exact same.
Yeah.
And so I've tried to be that way when I'm dealing with techs, clients. They could be a total asshole or super sweet, whatever, say something wrong or I'm not doing things right. I try to listen and go, okay, just breathe through it. Keep, focus on the goal at hand, what we're trying to do for the day to get that situation like we've had to deal with lately. So therefore, no, we're not getting rid of nobody. Figure it out. Talk to them. Let's learn from this experience how to not make that same mistake again and grow from there.
Yeah.
So therefore, to control myself even better nowadays.
Because I notice, like we talk about positive energy and being in the moment. We've talked about that in the past, and I feel like when you come into work in a bad mood because something's happened on the way to work, then you're bringing that energy with you, and it affects everybody in the office. People may not think it does, but you'll notice like they're avoiding you. Like they're like, I'm not going to go talk to him or he's in a bad mood, or I'm not going to go talk to her because she's in a bad mood. And I tell everybody, hey, life happens. We all have it. We have a life outside of work. And just like the office, I'm like, hey, let's try to leave it out of work. I know it happened on the way here. I know it sucks. I get it. But let's try to just leave it there, and we'll pick it back up when we leave, and we'll deal with it if we need to or what have you. But I think it brings your whole team, like if you have a business or whatever, you got to be an example for your team. So when you're coming in, if you're slamming stuff and mad and cussing or whatever, for one, they're not going to want to approach you when there is a problem later on because they're going to feel like you're going to be like that with them. I feel like that's a big one. I've had, people do that because of that.
Oh, yeah.
And two is you're now setting an example of how they need to behave when something happens.
Right.
And so it just doesn't set. And the larger your company grows, the bigger we get. It's even more. There's more eyes on you because there's more people watching you. It's different when you're a little company. I think it's just me and you. So me and you can fight.
Yeah.
There's no one here.
Well, being a leader, though, you got to lead from example.
Yeah.
You got to show them how you handle things, so therefore they need to handle things along those same lines. And it's trial and error. You got to learn from those experiences, but
Yeah.
they understand how you're doing, so therefore now they should be able to do those same things.
It's like teaching you patience. How you say don't ask God to teach you patience, because when he does, it's like everything. He's
Or
like, be
everything
careful what
happens,
you
yeah.
ask for.
Definitely careful because it happens.
Because
yes.
it happens, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me, honey, like, how are you learning to handle, someone makes you angry? You're better at this than I am, because he does. He has way more patience than me. Because people will text things to him, and I'm reading. I'm like, oh, no, you need to say this and this. And he's like, just give me a minute. I got it. And I kind of have
Well,
to.
it's kind of almost like what you said earlier, though. You got to look back. It doesn't really matter. Let them fly out the
Yeah.
handle. In some ways, to me, it's a different part of, I don't call it revenge or get back at them, because I know we all want to have the last word. But I'm a person who believes a lot of times less is more. The less you say, the more it pisses them off, because you're not saying nothing. They got so much more they want to say, and they're waiting for it. And then when you don't, they're going, dang it.
Yeah.
Come on. Where we at?
Yeah.
And I just let it go. Just let it go. And that's what I say, again, in my past, I've thought about the things I have done in the past, so I try to learn from those things to where, okay, let's not make that mistake again. So when something does come up, I kind of like, go back in my file cabinet, whatever, in my head to go, okay, this happened here before, so how do I handle the situation now? So I try to use my previous experiences with that. And on the flip side is the people we deal with, or things happen every day. Nobody knows what's going on in the other person.
In the other person's
What's
life.
happening in their day. If somebody just passed away, or they just lost their job, or car broke down and they're having a heck of a day,
Yeah.
you don't know that. They just didn't handle it quite the same, the right way for you, but it doesn't, you have no idea what they're going through.
Everybody has stuff going on in their life. Everybody's busy, and they have things outside of work. And I do try to look at that too. Like, I don't know their story. Like we're very good when we
never
go
know.
out. When we go out to places, we open the doors for people. We smile. We say good morning. I always tell women that I love their outfit, I love their dress, whatever, encourage them, because you don't know what that person's going through. And so when me and Earl go places, a lot of people know us because we talk. We talk to people, and we're always out. Hey, how's it going? And they remember us because we touch them in some way by complimenting them or
Yeah.
saying good things to them or what have you, But I one of my things that
We have more people open up to us because of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Friends, people reach, kind of share more things with us because, it's okay.
I think
it's
the
all good.
grandkids help us. We had grandkids this weekend. It was I have some videos to share later of Earl wrestling with the grandkids, but we try. That helps me because I have to watch so much of what I say with my grandkids because they're sponges, and we imprint on our children. The things we do and what we say, they see it. Whether you think they're old enough to see it, I don't care if they're a year old. They're watching you. They're watching how you respond to stuff. They're watching how we interact and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things is, my grandson did this. Maddie, this weekend we had the kids Saturday night. Maddie, the grandkids know I'm always going to pray with them before they go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So Maddie will come up and he's like, Nana, we got to say prayers. I'm like, yeah, just give me a minute. I'm like tucking in, 10 other kids over here. We have so many kids. I think we had 8 that stayed the night. And so I was tucking the little ones and everything. And so Maddie's like, and it's this is the God house. I'm like, what do you mean the God house? He goes, because you always pray with me and you taught me about Jesus and so that I imprinted on them. So things we say around them and things that we're doing in our actions,
That's right.
other people watching, our grandkids are watching, people are watching, our employees are watching how we behave and how we act. And it is. And the more people get to know you, just like our podcast, our company, the more we're out there, people are learning our shield, they're seeing it, and they know our company is, no matter where you're at, you got to be careful because people are watching you and how are you acting and how you reacting to things.
Yeah. Be like you said, 'cause you never know who's watching. Several months ago, we went and ate breakfast, and I opened the door for her to get in the vehicle, and then I get a message from a friend of mine, I don't know, a few hours later, going, "That's a hell of a man. Still got some chivalry about you," because he's seen me open the door for because I hardly ever say it anymore. So again, it's one of those things you never know who's watching, and I use this a lot. It's kind of like almost like pay it forward in a way, but say you're in a parking lot. I think I might have brought this up before about there's a cart out in the middle of the parking lot. Well, just grab it and take it to the spot it's designated for. Take it in, so it doesn't ding another car, or just pick up some trash off the bathroom floor. Yes, it's a bathroom, but wipe whatever, and you'll see somebody will see that, and they'll make a small, indention into that, and somebody else going to see that, and you never know who that's going to affect. down the road, and goes back to control, is how you can handle yourself with someone. We'll say a waiter or waitress brings you something wrong. Instead of flipping out, cussing them out, just talk to them about it. And it's
Remember
like,
that
somebody
time
sees that, you know what, next time maybe I shouldn't, it's not really their fault. They got the wrong food.
Remember that time at Home Depot you wanted to bring in that little the electronic chair? What is that called? You drove around in the parking lot because you were going to take it up to the front. Someone left it outside.
Now I know why, because it died. The battery died. You couldn't move it. So
he was on it trying to take it up to the front so the guys wouldn't have to come out. And I had to video you because I was like, someday this is going to be you. When you get old and you can't walk, you're going to need one of these. And
right.
I was giving him a hard time. When the kids were little, I would tell them if we went to a park or the lake, we'd have lunch and stuff. I'd say, okay, pick up your trash, but you have to find one other item that you didn't bring here, and you have to pick it up too and throw it away, and because you want to leave it nicer than what you came. But
right.
people are watching, and we all can react to things, and I don't know why it is, and maybe I'm wrong about this. I think this is really a legit thing. The winter seems to be more stress for people. Now I don't know if it's just because the holidays are coming up, the end of year taxes, Christmas is coming up. People don't get as many hours maybe in the winter time. So it seems to be a more stressful time of the year. And this is when you see more people in public acting crazy. I see that. Like even you go to Walmart, it's like people are just, they're like, oh, humbug or whatever. I don't know. I think this time of year, we're starting to go into a little bit more stressful time of year for people. I feel like. So it is important, just your kids are with you or your grandkids or what have you, just how you treat other people. That's why today I was like, if it isn't life or death, does it really matter? Yeah, it happened, but let's just figure it out, fix it, and let's move past it and not let it change the entire day for you. Because then all it did was take from you, and then you're in a bad mood the rest of the day, and you take it, and you will, and you may not think you affect other people, but I will bring it home, or I will say something to the person at work, and it does affect other people, all because you're choosing to let that affect you. You got to choose, you got to make a decision, a mindset, that's not going to affect you.
Right.
That you're going to fix the problem, just go on.
Just let things come in.
Let it flow.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Going down with it like Frozen. Yeah, just let that stuff go. But yeah, that's, so we just want to kind of share a little bit with that about how to just take a deep breath, control your behavior. The more you work on that, the better you'll feel about yourself. And you'll feel better about the day and how things go inside. And just, hey, go out and have the courage to conquer the life you want to live.
Absolutely.
And just go out and have a great day.